Here's something fascinating to think about. How can a machine that looks like a boat, but has no wheels and no wings, float effortlessly over water, land, and even ice? The answer lies in a clever use of air and pressure, a scientific principle that makes hovercrafts glide as if they're defying gravity. While they may seem like futuristic inventions, hovercrafts have been around for decades, and they rely on a surprisingly simple yet brilliant design to float and move. A hovercraft floats because of a layer of air trapped beneath it. This cushion of air is created by powerful fans or blowers that push air downward beneath the craft. The air becomes pressurized and spreads out evenly under the hovercraft, forming a stable, floating surface that lifts the entire vehicle off the ground or water. This effect is similar to how an air hockey puck glides smoothly over the table. If you've ever played air hockey, you've noticed how the puck doesn't touch the table directly but instead rides on a thin layer of air, allowing it to move with very little friction. A hovercraft works in much the same way, but on a much larger scale. To see this in action, try a simple experiment at home. Take a CD, attach a bottle cap with a small hole in it, and glue it in place. Then, blow up a balloon and attach it to the cap. As the air escapes, the CD will hover slightly above the surface, mimicking how a hovercraft floats. This small demonstration gives us a glimpse into the power of trapped air. To keep the air cushion from escaping too quickly, hovercrafts have flexible skirts made of rubber or other tough materials surrounding their base. These skirts help trap the air beneath the hovercraft while still allowing some air to leak out, which is necessary to maintain lift and keep the craft stable. If the skirts were completely airtight, the hovercraft wouldn't be able to adjust to changes in the surface below, and it would become wobbly and unstable. The air constantly escaping from the bottom of the skirt is what allows the hovercraft to hover smoothly, whether it's traveling over a calm lake, rough ocean waves, or even solid ground. Unlike boats that rely on buoyancy to float in water, hovercrafts don't need to displace water to stay afloat. Instead, they rely entirely on air pressure to lift them off the surface. Because of this, hovercrafts can travel over both land and water without making direct contact with either. This unique ability makes them incredibly useful in real-world situations. Hovercrafts are often used in rescue operations because they can easily glide over floodwaters, ice and mud where other vehicles would get stuck. The military also uses hovercrafts to transport troops and vehicles across land and water. And for thrill seekers, hovercraft racing is an exciting sport where pilots navigate these floating machines at high speeds. Once a hovercraft is lifted off the ground, it moves forward using one or more propellers, much like an airplane. These propellers push air backward, creating forward thrust. Because the hovercraft is already hovering above the surface, it doesn't experience the same kind of resistance that cars or boats do. There's very little friction, so hovercrafts can reach high speeds with relatively little power. Steering a hovercraft, however, can be a challenge because it doesn't grip the surface the way a car or a boat does. Instead, pilots use rudders, flat surfaces placed behind the propellers, to direct the flow of air and change the hovercraft's direction. Some models also use small side thrusters to help with turning. Now, here's a question for you. If you could travel anywhere on a hovercraft, where would you go? Imagine gliding over rivers, deserts, or even icy landscapes, moving smoothly with no friction to slow you down. Hovercrafts may not be as common as cars or boats, but their ability to float over different surfaces with ease makes them one of the most fascinating vehicles ever invented. Whether used for transportation, rescue missions, or just for fun, hovercrafts continue to capture the imagination of engineers and enthusiasts alike, proving that sometimes the key to floating isn't in the water, it's in the air. And who knows, maybe one day the same technology will lead to new inventions, perhaps even personal hoverboards or entire floating cities. Science and engineering have already taken us this far, so the future of hovercraft technology might be even more incredible than we can imagine.
Got a question about how something really works? Drop it in the comments and we might cover your topic in our next video.